We're up.
Are we
We're
live?
live. Corey isn't wearing any sleeves, and it's.
Oh wow, true Jason fashion. I like that. You got the red and the no sleeves. You are
He's
definitely Red Power Ranger today.
he's putting on a virtual gun show.
I love it. Gotta sell tickets. You guys in the chat, you guys are super lucky today. You got tickets to the gun show for free. But yeah, thanks so much. This is the Retro Ranger wrap up. I'm Elle. The guy with the guns is Corey. The guy with the luxurious hair is Josh. This it's more this, but I mean, it's that too. I guess that too.
That's a rude joke.
Oh man, today's gonna be one of those days. I apologize if I get like this, unable to form words or phrases. Yesterday was my first day on set for a job since like February. So I
Is
had
it for the Guy Fieri show?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Not the other one. Not see that
Man,
that's the brain.
Josh, words day.
This one is the one that I'm currently working on is called Tournament of Champions. It's the second season of a show that premiered earlier this year. We shot the first season December of last year, so now we're back to season 2. And then the other one that I work on, we'll see when that actually goes in. But the point of that is I had to wake up at like 6 a.m. yesterday, which I haven't done in like 9 months. So
Congratulations.
it's interesting.
What about you, Corey?
Thank you.
Anything fun going on this week?
I just finished building a shell so I can put my Megazords on them. So I'm like eager to put my shell.
Dude, you should post a picture of that. Maybe we can give you access to our the Illuminerdi Instagram, and you can see some of Corey's figures that he will set up on his new shelf.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Post on Twitter later.
All right, he'll be on Twitter. What is your Twitter handle?
C Gibson Rex.
All right. You guys in chat, make sure to follow Corey. You guys will be able to see his Power Ranger collection on his newly built shelf. I feel like I haven't really been doing anything this week. Just work. That's my normal life. But we are here for the Retro Ranger wrap-up. We are almost done with Power Rangers Lost Galaxy. We have a few more weeks to go, but today we're talking about episodes 32 and 33.
Yes.
Which is Protect the Quasar Saber and Facing the Past. Maybe. Probably. I think those are the titles.
That sounds right. We'll go with it. Let me pull up some of my information here really quick. So these two episodes did kind of work well together. So in the past when we've
just
broken
like
these up,
we
I know,
planned,
right? Like we actually planned this out, sort of. But I liked that these two focused on Corone and her redeeming herself for her past astronomisms.
Okay, so I do have a question at the onset of this. Why, when we last saw Astronema, she was evil? Or am I wrong?
Yeah, Countdown to Destruction, Andros cried on her, and then all her cybernetics went away, and she became Corone again.
Okay, you're right. So why isn't Corone with the rest of the Power Rangers in space? Because obviously Andros was looking for his long-lost sister for, like, decades, and, like, she was just like, yo, I found you. Yeah, like they had like a weird kind of like almost incest relationship going on for a little bit. So
also mentioned in the Psychopath novel, she's just been out there making for her past deeds. So she's just going to the planet helping people, and then I guess you could say she just kind of crossed paths with the Quasar Saber, and then she got caught up being a Power Ranger. And then
it seems
be Psycho Ranger Mama after this.
it seems like she kind of knew that it was there.
Yeah, it's like she knew.
Now Onyx, is this the first time that we've seen Onyx in Lost Galaxy?
No, it was the I think the Psycho Ranger episode. When they get the
Oh, right.
is it that one in Lost Galaxy?
I don't know.
No.
Someone in chat will probably know. Let us know in chat. You guys are our what do you call it? Fact checkers.
Fact checkers.
Yeah, Blackwing will know.
Yeah,
oh no, on the throne when Trakina was getting trained.
Oh, right.
Yeah,
because
so,
that was Onyx was one of the staples in Power Rangers in Space. Like we would see that saloon every once in a while pop up there.
Yeah, and then the whole planet
that's why
just changed on us.
Yeah, I mean the whole saloon thing
like
really does the Western Star Wars kind of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like so that kind of explains that. Like, does anyone want to give a summary about the first episode? What's going on? What's happening?
Okay. I'm gonna just read off Netflix. Crone once again assumes the role of astronomer as she risks her life to save the pink Quasar Saber from falling into evil hands.
That's kind of a clickbaity summary there, because like she's astronomer for all of like 30 seconds.
Pretty much.
I mean, I kind of like that though, because I like the whole pretending to be evil thing. I like that link, especially with Andros. Our first introduction to Andros when he goes to the banquet was pretending to be one of the evil villains. We find out he's. So I feel like I don't know if it was intentional or just like they're reusing the same plots because it's Power Rangers. But I do like that connection that both her and her brother appear to be able to be doing good. And then they have the whole like reveal of like, no, I'm actually Corone now and I'm here to save you guys. So, like, the random tie-ins, whether they're intentional or not, I feel like had a pretty big impact. But maybe it was just random, like, writers of like, man.
In the saloon, if you noticed.
What about in the saloon?
Some monsters that came back from the dead.
Oh.
You know, the crowd.
Yeah, well, the blur in the chat is asking how the monsters survived the Zordon wave.
Oh, because it's
power. Yeah, because there was like Piranhatrons and stuff too that I feel like were in there.
Yeah, there's Piranhatrons, and then there's the monster in the next episode. I think was in a crowd. It's a bat monster.
Yeah, so I think I remember seeing that one too.
Yeah.
Did they at least repaint it? I hope they at least repainted it.
I guess you could just say before he got hired by Trakina, he was trying to get that Quasar Saber for himself. And then he got out. He's like, damn, I guess I'll go work for her.
The Blur, thank you so much for that super chat. Yeah, he asks, shouldn't the Saber have returned to the Miranoi Stone? I'm going to leave that question to...
I was wondering too.
To Mr. Corey there, because I don't know.
I don't know either. You think it would be like a Green Lantern thing, and maybe that's what it is. It just went out and found. Well,
wait. So you think the guy that found it was supposed to be the Pink Ranger, and then Corone just kind of like fucked all of that up?
He got his way.
I mean, it was super weird. So that was one of my questions while watching this episode is like, okay, so the Quasar Saber, whereas the Power Rangers have their powers, usually they have a power transfer where they send it to someone else or it goes back to its origins. Why would the Saber not be with Kendrick's body, or they didn't just take it? And why would it be transported to some random ass planet and not back to, was it?
Miranoi.
Yeah. I don't know. I look at that word and the pronunciation in my head is very different. So why wouldn't it just go back to Miranoi, kind of like the Blur said? Is it just otherwise we wouldn't have an episode? I is that the easy answer?
This time is when all the production stuff was happening, because this is where a lot of the inconsistencies start to happen, because you can see them setting up some things and then you hit halfway point in the season and then everything just gets mumbled and jumped.
I'm gonna say my head canon for that is going to be that the morphing grid like is sort of like the Force in that way, and that it sent the Quasar Saber to that planet specifically to begin this chain of events that led Corone to coming back to join the Power Rangers.
Yeah, like some long-winded. It's like you just sent there the Saber. Why you have to put it through a trial?
Yeah, I don't know. This is I just had this issue with the most recent episode of Star Trek Discovery, So if you guys watching are interested in that kind of a thing, you can go and watch the episode that I just did with Heirloom. That should be up and processed by now. Because in that episode we had a thing that just, it seemed like the whole point of the story was just for this one minor aspect to happen that could have happened a completely different way. In this case with Power Rangers, they needed Corone to join up with the Power Rangers and get the pink Quasar Saber and become the Pink Ranger. The story that they built around making that happen didn't necessarily seem like the most well plotted out way to get there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's fine. The whole purpose is to have like Corone's redemption arc, which I thought was really good. And going back to like you're talking about the grid, like the grid ghost, so we get to see that a little bit more, where she saves Corone. Kendrix comes back, saves Corone. But I was like kind of curious why she was in her pink Ranger costume, because why wouldn't it just be Kendrix? Or was it just because like the actual actress couldn't come back and she could only do R&D, and that's why we see her in the suit, because she couldn't come back to actually be on set? But I was just like, the powers are gone. Like, your powers are in another person's hands. Like, that doesn't make sense. You should come back as Kendrix. But I guess with the whole, like being in the hospital for leukemia and stuff, she probably couldn't make it back to set, which is why they just had some random person in the suit. I would be shocked to find out if that was actually Kendrix. The actress for Kendrix in the suit for that one scene.
Oh no, her Ranger stunt double is a man.
Oh, okay.
The person in the Pink Ranger suit is a man.
I don't know if I've asked this previously, but have we seen grid ghosts at other points in Power Rangers?
I mean, in the last episode when we see Kendrix die, essentially, we see her briefly as a grid ghost or force ghost or whatever you want to call.
The only people that died in Power Rangers so far are villains. Like, no good guys have died between Mighty Morphin and this point.
Oh, interesting. I mean, that does make sense. Usually, yeah, you're right. They usually try to write off the Rangers just to be somewhere else, I think, in case they ever wanted to have a reunion or some kind of like mashup or team up or something. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, you did mention last week having her die was kind of like, oh, man, it was way more impactful, though. I thought. It was one of the more emotional departures.
For any of the team-ups at any point in time?
The Mega Force. No, that was Corone. When they cross over with Lightspeed Rescue.
So Kendrix actually showed up as Kendrix?
No, yeah. So
how did they explain that?
What do you mean?
Well, if she's dead, how did she come back?
We're not there yet.
Okay. All right, spoilers. We'll figure it out when we get there. I like that answer. I almost feel like Corey's lying right now because he's like, I don't remember. So we're just gonna say we haven't gotten there yet. We're gonna find out in like 10 years from now.
Spoilers.
That you are totally BSing.
Oh no, I'm for real. This is not an RPM situation.
Okay, all right. No trolls this time. I kind of like that. I don't know. Did you guys have any highlights or lowlights for this episode? Like anything that really stood out to you, either good or bad?
They tried to auction off a Super Soaker.
I don't know. That Super Soaker was pretty dope, though. I'd probably bid not like, depending what the exchange rate for whatever monster currency they use or space currency they use.
The currency was a Xanabatar, right? And they started the Quasar Saber at 1,000. So I'm assuming the Xanabatar is like a $1. So then they started the bid for the Quasar Saber at $1,000. I'm just like,
Seems a little low.
I would easily bid $1,000 if I knew those powers could make me into a Power Ranger.
I know.
Like if I just had disposable income, like I would easily throw down $1,000 to be.
Yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. That seems kind of cheap. Maybe one Xanatar is like a Bitcoin.
Let's hope.
Okay, yeah, if it's Bitcoins and it costs like 1,000 Bitcoins, and there's no way I can afford that. That's out of my price range.
Yeah, there's really no real highlights in this. I mean, she just kind of jumps into it like any new Ranger. And I have most of my comments are on the next episode, really.
Yeah, for
That's
this
fine.
one,
What about you, Josh?
Nothing really stood out to me as being either bad or particularly. That's a hard word to say. Particularly good. Um, it was it was a solid episode. But I don't
Yeah,
think there was
it's a
necessarily
build-up for
anything.
sure.
Yeah, there wasn't like necessarily anything special about it either. But I did not like anything about it.
I mean, the only thing that was a little off-putting for me was like how Red just comes up into, the Western style background. All of a sudden he was like, "Hey, you better tell me where this is, or I'm gonna like." I don't know. The Power Rangers just kind of sounded like bullies in the beginning. Like, how did he know that guy knew, like, found the Quasar Saber and like sold it for auction? Like, he may not have known what it was. It's on a random planet. It's not like it has any like historical significance to like this is where the Quasar Sabers come when a Ranger dies. So I kind of, in the beginning, the Rangers did come off a little bit as bull, like, you better tell us the truth, or if I have to come back here and kind of like beat you up or whatever they said.
I mean,
I was like, man, that was a little rude in my opinion, considering they're supposed to be like ambassadors of like goodwill and
I kind of like
protecting
that
people.
because
But
there are times where the Power Rangers are like, "How come you won't threaten this guy and so you can get what you need?" Because this is kind of like a desperate situation. If
they were raised as like interrogation people, they're not there with like freaking, I don't know.
I mean,
They just sit there and
nails and like
pull out
scissors and like
monsters'
clamps
fingernails
and
one by
stuff.
one.
got 4 Power Rangers.
Torture is not the Power Ranger way,
like,
man.
Bamboo shoots under the nails.
Yeah, they have like waterboarding techniques in the background. You're like, dang, this got dark. But yeah, I mean, they were assertive. They really needed that Quasar Saber, but I kind of feel like they should have been worried about that as soon as Kendrix died and was like, yo, Kendrix died. Her Saber's not here. Where did her powers go? Like, Alpha, you should be looking for this. And like tied into a plot just to make it a little bit tighter and make a little more sense. But I mean,
Yeah.
I love the whole thing with Corone and Andros, like parallel of like pretending to be evil. That unveil was good. But yeah, it was a very middle of the road episode. Do we want to rate this or?
Yeah, we can rate this one by itself. But before we get there, Blackwing in the chat says that they just lost a teammate, so them being a little aggressive seems kind of fitting. I would agree with that. They're still not necessarily over the loss of Kendrick, so they may be acting out just a little bit more than they normally would, just due to that.
That is a good point.
So
I do like that. That actually makes a lot of sense. Thanks,
so
Blackwing.
while it does seem out of character, it could be because they are sort of out of character,
grieving, and they are upset. And okay, yeah, that makes sense. Actually, for Power Ranger canon, I like that explanation a lot better than being like interrogation, like artists or something.
So ratings. I'd give this one a 4.
What about you, Corey?
We're doing out of 5 or 10. I never know.
Out of whatever you want. Whatever you want, Corey.
10. I'll always assume mine is out of 10. This is like a 7.
All right, so that I give this one an 8. Yeah, on Corey's scale.
Okay, well, I'm gonna give it a solid B. I'm gonna change my rating system since we all seem to be using like arbitrary rating systems. So I'm gonna give it a B. It was definitely better than average. It could have been made a lot better with some like minor changes and a little bit of tightening of the plot and storyline. But yeah, it made me super interested. Like, I'm gonna be real. There's some episodes of Power Rangers I'm not paying attention to. You guys know this based off of how many times you see me like talk about it.
Oh, but, yeah. I mean, like
it definitely kept my attention this time.
Through a lot of these episodes, I've got my phone while like I'm just like dicking around on my phone while I'm watching the episode. But for this one, I put my phone down. I was like, all right, I actually want to see what's happening. So that's how I know I'm more interested in a certain episode over another, is how much I'm multitasking at the same time.
Also, depending how busy you are and how many shows you have to set up for the day, I feel like that plays a factor too. Real.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Blackwing gives it a 4 out of 5. Jared Hodges gives it a 4. Craig Anderson gives it a 5 out of 5, and Thomas Franco gives it a 4.5. So it is like one of the higher ratings for episodes in general, and I feel like we're all kind of generally on the same page, I think. Does that work? I don't math.
Yeah.
Let's just say it is and move on to the next one.
Sure. So, episode 33. This one is the equivalent of Empire Strikes Back, sort of, with the scene where Luke goes into the cave and fights himself. And
you got to face yourself is the ultimate test. I like that. It belongs more of what am I talking about? Power Rangers in space. Like that theming belongs more over there, but I'll allow it. Yeah. They're still in space. They're in the Lost Galaxy.
I mean, it worked since they brought in one of the characters from Power Rangers in space, and she was going off to do space thing related to stuff that she was doing during the power. Okay, so Corey, I don't know if you can answer this, but the events that we saw with her fighting that dude, was that during the Power Rangers in space era, or was that before that, like something that she did before that season started?
Yeah, I would say that was probably before the season, because no, she didn't mention that guy. Even this is what is that word? When you're adding to canon after the fact.
Retcon?
There you go, retcon. Even though they're kind of retconning, it makes sense that it happened before she went to Earth. But this version of Astronema, I think, is the best version of Astronema. Because she had to play it for a year and she kind of got it down. So I like this Astronema better. She just seemed more aggressive and not like a joke. And her wigs changing and all that crap. When she first started out.
I do want to jump in really quick. The Blur gave us a super chat for $3.99, and this is the fun part. Carone trying to call the Zord. That is probably one of the highlights where she's like, "What did she say?" She's like,
"Come over here.
Like, come here." Yeah, and I thought that was super cute and trying to like really get her up to speed. I feel like that kind of bonding moment really shows, they're like community Rangers are welcoming her. Like obviously they're still grieving Kendricks, but they're able to have a good time and welcome the newest team member. So that was probably one of the highlights of that episode. Thanks so much, The Blur.
Yeah, that particular spot actually kind of reminded me a little bit of in the first Tobey Maguire Spider-Man, where he's trying to figure out how to shoot the webs. And he's like Shazam, and doing all these
go
different
web,
things.
Go. But yeah, I mean, it was cute. It was super cute.
How she just didn't sleep in Kendrick's bed. She got the third bunk under her bed.
Well, just in case Kendricks comes back, like Kendricks, Grid Ghost might
that was rude.
want to like drop in every once in a while.
Because this is my Diz friend's bed. You can't sit in it. You got to sleep on the floor, basically.
I didn't even pick up on that. That's actually a really good observation. That like totally went over my head. But yeah, you're absolutely right.
I did not notice that either.
Man, I did want to ask you guys a question though. It seemed like they were trying to set up like Carone and Leo. Because in the beginning, and even like they're trying to help each other, and she's like in his arms, but not really supporting him, like not the arm over the shoulder, but like let's be arm in arm. And even the beginning while they're talking, I'm like, yo, Leo, Kendricks had the hots for you for like 3/4 of the season. Then you go on a date with some other girl in front of her, and now you're like, she's dead. So you're like, all right.
He just like Pink Rangers. It don't matter.
Yeah, I don't know. I thought that was a little shady on Leo's part, man. Like, he's just like, oh man, Kendricks took too long. So this new chick, and now she's dead. So Carone's here. You guys wear the same color Power Ranger suit. So like, same. I don't know. Maybe I was just reading on that wrong.
I'm not really cheap. You guys got
solid substitution. Right? I mean, I was kind of getting that from Maya with Damon too. Like at the end there, it kind of looked like she was giving him the Diet Pepsi break look, or Diet Coke break, or whatever it was from the commercial, where like the women are like the women in the commercial are scoping out the dude who's just like out there like doing construction or whatever, and then he takes a Diet Coke break, and they're like, oh yeah, hose.
I don't know. What? Is that how the commercial goes? It just ends with "oh yeah, hose."
No. In the show, they're spraying Damon down with the hose.
Oh, just
water hose, not like actual people hose.
You need to specify specify water hose and not just them hose over there.
Yeah, I was like, wait, what are you talking about?
No, but I mean, yeah, you're right. You're right. They did spray down with a hose. I did like that it was like the wet t-shirt contest for the dudes. They're causing mischief. And that was like kind of a good switch around. I did approve of that 100%. But totally misheard you, Josh. But I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's move on. This is like a kid show.
So,
I guess speaking of,
what are your notes on this one? Oh, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, speaking of kids show, what how do you feel about Caron's leather outfit?
Oh man, that was super sexy. But I mean, still compared to Maya's outfit, it's pretty conservative.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys seen the Wild Force Time Force team up, but I think that's.
I assume the answer is no.
Oh yeah, I think they used that suit for Time Force Peak, and they put her little badge on the back. I just realized that yesterday.
Huh.
Oh, interesting. I have no point of reference for this, but in like 7 years,
When we get there,
I'll try to keep that in my mind shack.
We're one season away from Time Force. Actually, no, 2.
Oh, just 1 season away.
We're 2 seasons. That's Wild Force, actually. So we got 2 more seasons to get there.
Oh, maybe like a year then. Maybe if I can remember that little nugget of information for a year. I'm not going to remember it, but I'll pretend like I will. But yeah, like Corey, I know you had a lot of notes on this episode. Did you have like anything profound or any kind of insights?
No, I just always wondered, how did the keys work for the warrior? Did he just wear he was just a naked man wearing an airplane? Or did it work differently for him because he wasn't a Power Ranger, you know?
Yeah, I don't know what it is. And like the key is like the. And why do they call it the key? Like that's such a weak ass name for a weapon. Like they couldn't just call it a ninja star or like
anything, because their power up form is called power up mode.
All right. Well, the writers need to invest a little bit more on like what they name these things, because like I have the key, but it's like a ninja star. Like
I mean, unless it's actually a key
trapezoid thing.
Like does it ever get used
it wasn't
a key for something?
It was a weapon. It was something that makes you freaking immortal, and they just called it a key. Like it creates immortality. Like that is the weakest name I've ever heard for something so powerful. I don't know.
There's no there. That's all the information we get for that. There's no backstory to these keys or the battleizer or anything, or why is it's an airplane. It's just I had this toy when I was younger.
Is battleizer just like a generic name that's used for any number of power-ups, or because like Andros's battleizer like just made him look buff,
made him super buff.
Well,
his suit was like Batman status.
Yeah, this looks like one of the mech suits from what was that cartoon where the guys had the Exo Squad? Yeah.
The term battleizer comes from battle riser. That was in Japan. Andros's battleizer is called battlerizer in Mega Ranger.
But I feel like their weapon, like when their weapons came together, that was also called like the battleizer or something. Maybe I'm making that up. Maybe they just, I feel like they overuse that name. Since we were talking about the key, I do want to bring up this topic, and I know it's like, it always bothers me. So I feel like the girls, before I go on this tangent, thanks so much for the Blur who gave us another super chat for $1.99. At least they didn't have Leo scream in pain. I mean, yeah, that's true. I do appreciate that. Yeah. Thanks so much, Blur, for that super chat. I'm about to go on this tangent where I'm kind of upset. Why is it every single time like the girls in Power Rangers like get juked on like special weapons or being able to like, I don't know, battle rise up? Like it was Caron's tears that broke the stone statue, man, and woke him out. Like, yeah, maybe she caused it, you know, but like, why does it go to the Red Ranger? Like, he didn't do it. Like, he looked at that dude as like, oh, there's no key, let's go home. She stayed, put in some extra effort, cried some tears over this dude, and then he'll right, you get the prize, but not you, the man. And I was like, that is super insulting to me.
Because Pink Rangers can't sell boy toys.
I mean, objectively, yeah, I know the toy industry is more geared towards men, but man, that makes me so mad for the episodes. Like, ugh.
I do understand that, but conversely, have any non-Red Rangers ever gotten like a battleizer upgrade?
Yes. Next season, we get battle boosters, but they're just for the males. Hyperforce, the Pink Ranger had a battleizer. And Quantum Ranger and Time Force gets Mega Battle.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Lightspeed Rescues are Mega Battles too. I'm sorry. So blue and green get Mega Battles, and Quantum Ranger.
So there's only
Mega Battle. They're basically the same.
So what you're saying is one instance of a female getting a more powerful weapon instead of a guy, or did the guys all get way more powerful weapons, and then she also got one?
I mean, we get there, and then Samurai, they all share the battleizer, so they all get big samurai armor. So they all wear
all of them. When does the female get the bonus that she deserves?
And I'm going to have to qualify this within the Sentai counterpart, because I'm assuming the reason that Red got that upgrade here and not Corone was because they had to go by what happened with the Sentai footage.
No, there's no battleizers don't exist in Super Sentai.
Wow.
Really?
So Corone really just got juked on this one, where she was like, I went to the cave, I got the Quasar Saber, I unfroze this dude with my cheers and empathy, and he just gets to reap the rewards. I'm not a fan of Leo.
Yeah, there's only
I'm gonna
one
be real. I feel like Leo at that point should have been like, you deserve this. You got it. You went to the cave. You had your redemption arc. Like, this whole 2-part episode thing was about Corone's redemption arc. And at the end, she doesn't even get the special weapon. What the hell?
Yeah. Well, see, today, Leo would have been like, wait, why are you giving that to me?
Yeah. Yeah, if Mike tried to give that to him, if Mike unlocked it, Leo would have been like, it's yours because you're a man. But because it was Corone, I don't know. I just felt like it was a little sexist. But I mean, that's me every week.
They went hunting for the key to get Leo his powers back, which is the whole reason why I'm just trying to justify it.
I mean, they all lost their powers, though. Like, at one point, like, yeah, Leo was the first to, like, lose his powers because of the magnet on his, whatever, his transforming. But they all did.
Yeah,
I feel like that. I don't know. Was he gonna die? Did he need immortality? If anything, they should have gave it back to Kendricks and try to like revive Kendricks some way and be like, "Yo, Ghost Grid Kendricks, come back and let's give you immortality so you can come back."
Absorbed into the morphing grid, so it's like her body is not even existing.
Okay, all right. I mean, I kind of get it. It's like a wasp in a fig.
Corone's costume, I lied, is not the same as in Time Force, because I'm looking at it right now. It's different, but it's similar.
Okay. I mean, I'll go for that. That was like the lowest point for me of the episode. Everything else was actually really good. I know I'm talking a lot of shit, but the episode was actually pretty engaging. I'm always mad, man. I'm always mad when the girls get juked like that.
Yeah, but again, it's one of those things where we can nitpick and pick apart the episode because that's literally what we're here to do. But still enjoy it, because again, going back to the last episode of Star Trek Discovery, I had a lot of things I was picking apart on this past episode, but I still really enjoyed it because it was still it wasn't a bad episode. There were just things about it that are just like, all right, well, this could have been better, and this could have been better, and this could have been better, but that doesn't mean that it was bad. It just means that there were things they could have done better.
Yeah, this is the 90s, so I mean, girls are going to be treated like girls until we get to the Sabanic.
No, I still go back to Morphin. I feel like, Trini used to train. I feel like Tanya, like, she showed the boys what's up in like all these episodes. I feel like they're regressing a little bit as far as like gender stereotypes. Every once in a while, like, they're still there. They're definitely less frequent in general, but man, I wish they could just kind of make it a little more consistent, that they don't need to be saved. Because I do like Corone better than Kat, because I always make the comparison of like, Kat was evil, she had her redemption arc, and she became the Pink Ranger. This is just another replay of it with Corone, who was evil, redemption arc. Now she's the Pink Ranger. They did it a little bit better. She doesn't seem as helpless. Like you said, she's way more aggressive. She's way more determined. She's way more like She has more agency than Kat for sure. That only screamed for Tommy, and that was like her only lines for an entire season. I was like, oh no, Tommy, please save me. So I do like her a lot better, but hopefully the story arc leads more in that way. Gives her a little more agency.
I think you'll like Time Force would be your season.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited. And 2 years from now.
Time Force is after Lightspeed, or is there another season?
Yeah, we gotta get through Lightspeed Rescue first, where girls are still girls.
but no.
Okay.
I
like girls
Time Force,
as girls. I just
is Time Force right after Lightspeed, or is there something in between?
It's right after Lightspeed.
Oh, so we're only a few months away from that then.
Yeah.
All right. Blackwing also says that. Blackwing lets me know when you get to Time Force, I'm gonna like Jen. So I'll be on the lookout for Jen. Probably in the second half of next year.
Jen,
but yeah,
was that Aaron Cahill?
Yeah.
Okay, I remembered something.
Good job, Josh. You're getting better with words the more we speak.
little bit.
But yeah, did you guys have any like highs and lows or any comments on this one before we wrap up?
No, just like I said, why is it an airplane? Why is this battle like they're an airplane when it came from a barbarian alien guy? You know,
aliens.
that's just the only thing.
I mean,
aliens.
Have you ever seen like the Herculoids or Thundar the Barbarian?
Yeah.
That's futuristic stuff with barbarian.
Like man, right?
Yeah.
I get. All right, I let it pass. Now I'm thinking about He-Man. I'm like, you know what? You got a point.
And also the Blur, thank you so much for another super chat. He says the comics are helping rewrite the girls, and that is definitely true. With the Go-Go, I love seeing Trini as the Red Ranger, having the sword, being the leader, even if it was just for one issue. It was phenomenal. But yeah, I love the comics. The comics are definitely working out like the complexity of all the characters, working on a lot of like the negative stereotypes. If Power Rangers can actually be like the comics, I think it would be an amazing series. I kind of feel like it would have to be animated though, and I know a lot of fans are not into it.
I think the new stuff that we're going to get from Jonathan Entwistle and Brian Hill should based on what I know about their previous works, they should address these issues that you're talking about. So, which is one of the reasons that I'm actually excited for the stuff that we're going to be getting come 2022, 2023 when all that stuff actually starts coming out. It will probably be the first time that I start watching Power Rangers like new stuff as
live.
It's coming instead of like we are now.
Mm.
But yeah, so what would you guys rate this particular episode?
Corey.
This one.
What did you give it? A 7?
No,
7 out of 10.
This one like a 9 because
a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, I bought because I used to have the toy. I only bought it because I wanted the power up mode Red Ranger, and I'm like, what's up with this stupid airplane parts? And I was just like, and then it showed up on TV. I'm like, hey, hold up, I need that.
It's all for the toy sales, man.
Yeah,
they got you.
They got all about
it. You were their target audience, and they definitely got you.
They got me.
What about you, Josh?
All right. Well, since we're just like making up random numbers again, I'm gonna go with let's go with 11 out of 13.
Okay, 11 out of 13. That's pretty good.
It was good. I think this one was just as good as the previous episode.
Okay.
There were, some weird, just like things with it that kind of made me go, huh, okay, like what you were saying about Corone not being the one that did all the work, but Leo getting the key. The way that happened was kind of bizarre because it's like, okay, she went all through all this trouble herself, but he helped, but not really.
He was like limping, like he wouldn't have even made it to the cave if she didn't like carry his like broke ass over there.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like he was damaged, like he couldn't walk on his own. She picked him up, dragged him into the cave, and he was like, I don't see the key, I'm gonna go. And like left her in the cave by herself while she was like digging around trying to make sure that like she's gonna save the world and stuff, and then she doesn't even get that power. That was weak.
Yeah. So those are that's why I gave it a little bit of a downgrade there. But yeah, overall, I enjoyed it.
I mean, I think I did too. If making up arbitrary rating systems, I'm going to give it a thumbs up. Good job, scratch and sniff sticker on this report card. I thought it was a pretty good episode. Yeah, it was super interesting, and I like that she's a part of the team. I like how they worked her in, and it's still a sad reminder that like Kendricks had to die to be able to pass on this power. So it does have a lot more emotional weight than any of the power transfers that happen in any other season. So I thought it was pretty good. I'm pretty excited for the next 4 or 5 weeks of 5 weeks of the season that we have going on, depending if we do a Christmas episode or not. But
yeah, we've got what 10 episodes left. 9 episodes,
something like that. What day is today?
3, 4, 5.
Today's the 6th.
7.
1, 2, 3, 4 more weeks. Give or take a Christmas episode.
12 episodes left. So yeah, that's right, 45 episodes. Yeah. So yeah, I'm excited to see how Lost Galaxy wraps up and move on to the next one. But so far, this I think Lost Galaxy has superseded In Space for me.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, let me get to the ratings really quick. Blackwing, his answer for everything, we all know what it is. It's Power Rangers. You don't question it. But Metal Ryan Gaming gives it a 4 for both episodes. Jared Hodges gives it a 4. Let's see, the Blur, a D for this, a B for the last episode, though. Blackwing gives it a 4 out of 5. The Battleizer episode rocks. Craig Anderson gives it a 3 out of 5. And Donnie Pearson, he gives episode 33 a 10 out of 10 lightning bolts. Man, I always think about that LARPing where it's like lightning bolt, lightning bolt, lightning bolt. It's just like a random clip from like a LARP video. It's like one of my favorite things. But yeah, I mean, we all viewed these as extremely positive. Corey, what do you think our votes are going to be next week? Since you kind of know a lot more and you know ahead, do you think we're going to like those next 3 episodes? Oh, by the way, chat, we're moving to 3 episodes starting next week.
Oh, we moved to 3 episodes.
Yeah. From next week
we've
until the end of the
schedule
series.
posted, so you can see what we've got.
Those sounds make it sound like I'm not going to like next week.
No, because how we grouped them. Because if we're doing 3, then we're going to be left on a cliffhanger on one of the episodes.
Oh, that's fine. Then we could have predictions.
I mean, you guys could have predictions.
Oh yeah, you already know what's going to happen.
I know what happened. But one out of the 3, actually, 2 out of the 3 episodes would be good next week.
I like those odds.
Yeah, those are good odds.
Yeah.
I feel like
let's see with 3. That'll be fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the next 3 episodes, hopefully we'll have another positive week next week where we're just not talking trash. We have actually good things to say. This week was actually really good. I mean, you guys know how critical we are every week when we watch this, especially watching older episodes as adults now. I feel like our critiques are a lot more harsh than they would have been, obviously, growing up as kids.
Oh, yeah.
But I actually really like this season. Like in Space, Galaxy so far have been super solid. I feel like Zeo was the other one that was like incredibly good, I think, for its time. But yeah, are we done? Is that all we have to say? Is that the end of the episode?
Do either of you guys have anything to plug for later in the week? Anything you're doing? Anything you're working on? Anything fun coming up that you're excited about?
No.
Well, I mean, we get to see Corey's shelf as soon as he gets everything set up and all his figures set up. Make sure to follow us on all of our social media. We are on Instagram. We are on Twitter. We are on Facebook. Corey has his own Twitter where he's going to be posting some of his stuff. So make sure to follow all of our accounts. Make sure to follow Corey for all of the Power Ranger things that hopefully he'll post this week. What about you, Josh? You have anything to plug?
Yeah, I got a couple of things. Before I start with that, though, I just want to address the Blur in the chat. He's asking if Retro is back to Sundays or Saturdays after Retro Ranger wrap-up. They will... Retro Ranger wrap-up has permanently moved to Saturday for right now. We were on Sunday today just because my schedule got jacked up yesterday because of rehearsal for the new Food Network show that I'm working on. So I wasn't able to be around for that, but I was free today. But now that I'm back to normal as of next week, we will be back to Saturdays unless Elle or Corey aren't able to come up, and then we might change that. If that does happen, I promise that we will let you guys know ahead of time. Give you a lot more than 1 day of notice for that, as long as we have more than 1 day of notice ourselves. But outside
and for
of that,
any of those kind of changes, follow us on Facebook. We'll usually post something there, part of our inner circle. So if you want to follow that for any of our schedule changes, and make sure to subscribe on YouTube. You also get notifications that way.
Yeah, because we do have the community tab available to us now on YouTube, which is where I've posted our schedule for the rest of Lost Galaxy, so you can see which episodes we're watching for which. I'm gonna say weekends. For right now, it's all, they're all scheduled for Saturday. But again, I don't want to say that's permanently official just because we don't know what might happen in the world. But yeah, outside of that, later on tonight, if you're into wrestling, we've got the Illuminerdi Wrestling Order coming up at 8 o'clock, where they will be discussing Sting's shift from WWE to AEW. I don't really follow wrestling, so I don't really know what that means. I know who Sting is, but that's about it. For me, next time you can see me on the air will be next Saturday for the Riker Maneuver with myself, Heirloom, and Eric Berry, where we'll be talking about another cliffhanger episode. Next week's Star Trek Discovery is the first half of a two-parter, which we're kind of excited about. And I think that's it. I know Elle and I have some fun stuff that's on the way. We're waiting for that to be mailed in. I'm super excited.
It will be. That is only for our 21 plus people who watch. If you are not over 21, the reviews that we will be doing is not for you. It is our side hobby, and if you are curious about what that is, please make sure to follow us on all of our Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. We will be having some pretty dope ass reviews coming
I'm gonna grab something really
I'm excited.
Away.
But yeah, if you want to see reviews, if you're ever curious about different articles on anything in pop culture, make sure to visit us at theilluminerdi.com. That is our home base. We are also going to be, are we doing that? Are you going to do that unboxing for?
Yeah, so I'm going to try and do this sometime this week.
The Dark Saber?
Yeah, so if you guys watch The Mandalorian,
or Clone Wars,
or the Clone
whatever.
Wars, or any of those. The Dark Saber. You guys should know what the Dark Saber is. In the Mandalorian, Moff Gideon has it right now, and we saw it reappear recently. So I'd like to get that up and going. This is it's a table lamp that Toink Toy set us. So if you're interested in anything like that, you can head over to their website. They've got some holiday sales going on right now, and you can find a lot of really cool things over there.
Did you see
we actually get a lot of things from Toink. It's super cool. Go ahead, Corey.
Did you see the Black Series Mando helmet?
I have not seen that yet.
I've seen images of it.
It's pretty cool. You can even inside the helmet, it has show accurate details and lights. It looks pretty cool.
Oh, what?
That's really dope.
Do you know how much that's retailing for? I bet that's super expensive. The Black Series.
I'm sure at least probably a little more than a Mighty Morphin helmet. At least 80 or around 80 or so. I don't think it's.
I mean, that's not that bad.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pricey, helmet. But it's not super expensive.
Yeah.
All right, JD, thanks for coming by. Also, Donnie Pearson. I think that's about gonna wrap it up for us. We will see you next Saturday on the Retro Ranger wrap up, probably around 1:15, give or take our technical issues and our general schedules. But like I said, make sure to follow us. You'll get all the updates, all the notifications. Bye. Are we frozen?
No, you were frozen.
Okay.
All right. No, it's on. All right. I will see everyone next week. Yeah. All right. Where's my button? Where's my button? I need my button. Button. There we go. Bye-bye.
This stuff is really long.